Gasoline and diesel engines also differ in their ability to accommodate alternative fuels such as natural gas, methane, and biofuels. Biofuels, which include bioethanol and biodiesel, are extracted from living organisms. Here we discuss the conversion of engines to multiple fuels and leave the details about biofuels themselves to a subsequent video segment. Gasoline engines built after 1980 can use mixtures of gasoline and up to 10% ethanol without modification. With modifications, using materials that are resistant to ethanol or methanol corrosion, and installing sensors that detect the fuel mixture and allow electronic ignition control units to adjust engine timing, gasoline vehicles can use mixtures that contain up to 85% ethanol or methanol and 15% gasoline. Converting a gasoline engine to compressed natural gas entails the addition of a pressure regulator and an electronic multi-port gas injection system similar to a gasoline injection system. Diesel engines are more flexible in their fuel mixtures. Rudolf Diesel, the inventor of the device that bears his name, ran his engines on vegetable oils and became an advocate for independence from petroleum fuels. Rudolf Diesel's repudiation of the petroleum industry has spawned a number of conspiracy theories because of the mysterious circumstances surrounding his death. He disappeared on September 29, 1913, from a steamer crossing the English Channel. 10 days later, Dutch fishermen found a body floating at sea, removed the personal effects, but left the decaying corpse in the water. The personal effects later identified the body as Rudolf Diesel. Today's diesel engine, with minor modifications, larger fuel lines, and more frequent replacement of the fuel filter, can switch freely between petroleum-based diesel fuel and mixtures of petrodiesel and biodiesel. Biodiesel, the product of reaction between vegetable oils or animal fats with ethanol or methanol, has a viscosity similar to petrodiesel. Some, and perhaps many diesel vehicles can operate on unadulterated biodiesel. As discussed in previous sections, higher vehicle fuel efficiencies would conserve limited natural resources, reduce dependence on unreliable sources of petroleum, improve the balance of trade for many countries, and mitigate air pollution and greenhouse gas emissions. Most people agree with these goals, yet economic market forces such as taxes on fuel and vehicles have proved insufficient to achieve them. Consequently, governments have pressured automobile manufacturers to improve the fuel efficiencies of their light-duty vehicles. The U.S. Congress, in the aftermath of the 1973 oil embargo, enacted the Corporate Average Fuel Economy, or CAFE, regulations. These regulations established the average fuel economy of passenger cars in the manufacturer's United States fleet at 18 miles per gallon in 1978 and 27.5 miles per gallon in 1985, and of small trucks at 17.2 miles per gallon in 1979 and 21.6 miles per gallon in 1985. These regulations have been controversial from their inception. They have generated sharp disagreements about their effects on the mix of vehicles in the United States, the overall efficiency of this mix, vehicle safety, cost to consumers, and health of the domestic automobile industry. The following sections treat each of these. The CAFE regulations have several loopholes. One, which proved large enough to drive a truck through, is that sports utility vehicles, SUVs, light-duty pickup trucks, and vans fall under the more lax standards of small trucks and thus require less costly technology for compliance. With their lower costs and their desirable larger sizes, the public purchased more and more of these vehicles as substitutes for passenger vehicles. The market share of SUVs, small trucks, and vans in the United States grew from less than 20% of new vehicles sold in 1975 to nearly 50% of new vehicles sold in 2008, but is finally declining.